to the channel. Today we have another airport update on Denver International Airport. This is Denver update number 31. Today we have a lot of very exciting things to go over, especially with United. Make sure to stick around to see the B terminal. United has been doing very good. They've upgraded quite a few routes. They brought back quite a few routes, and also there's some new MAX routes. So that's very exciting. And also we have a lot of other upgrades on routes and routes that have been brought back. So before I get started, make sure to click the like button and subscribe to my channel. So let's get started. Of course, starting over here at the A terminal, starting with this Delta Airlines 737-900ER. This arrived in from Los Angeles and is going to be making a flight out to Detroit. Behind that, Delta Airlines 757-200, that arrived in from New York City and is going to be flying out to Atlanta today. And Atlanta's been on mainly 767s, but also 757s, so I decided I would include that in this update. And right down here in Icelandair 757-200, this is going to be making the Reykjavik turnaround today. And of course, Icelandair aren't flying here right now, but they are scheduled to be coming back in June, which is very exciting, and I cannot wait to see them back at Denver. I'm not really sure where they park, but I just figured I'd put them over here where most of the internationals usually park. Next is Lufthansa Airlines Airbus A350-900. This is the rider from Frankfurt is going to be heading back out there. And of course, this is subbing in for the Airbus A330-300. And also some very exciting news for Lufthansa. They are going to be returning. Their Munich route is also going to be returning in June. So that's going to be very nice. We're going to have a lot of different a lot of the international airlines return in June. Hopefully it probably depends on what happens with COVID and everything. But it will be really nice to see Lufthansa's Munich route back. And moving on to American. This is the most excited I've been to get to American in a very long time, if not ever, in a Denver update. We have a ton of very exciting things going on with American. So starting in the front with this American Airlines 737 MAX 8. This is the rider from Miami and is going to be flying back out there. And this route is on the MAX now. I'm very happy to see that. Now I can actually realistically use this plane, and it is just very nice to see that American have put the MAX on this route. I'm curious to see if American will keep the MAX on this route, but that is really nice to see for sure. So as I said, he just arrived from Miami, going to be heading back out there. And moving on right there in American Airlines, Airbus A321, that just arrived in from Los Angeles and is going to be heading back out there today. And this route has been upgraded to the Airbus A321. That's just amazing. I never thought that route would be upgraded to the A321 right now. So they're flying one flight a day on the Airbus A321 to Los Angeles right now in the morning, and also they have kept the CRJ 700 flight in the evening. So that is just awesome to see. I really hope that this route stays on the A321 because that is just amazing, and I'm very happy to see this. So as I said, this has arrived in from Los Angeles and is going to be heading back out there. And I'm just very happy to see that American has faith in this route. And before I go on the Frontier, here's a very nice angle of that Lufthansa A350. Very nice model. Cannot wait to have this realistically in an update. But for now, it'll just be subbing in for the A330. But anyways, on to Frontier. In the back of Frontier Airlines Airbus A320neo. That just arrived in from, let's go with Nashville. And is going to be flying out to Cozumel. And that route has been brought back, which is very nice to see. That Frontier is also bringing back some routes. And in front of that just landed in from Houston, a Frontier Airlines Airbus A320neo in the blue with the white tail livery. As I said, he just landed in from Houston and is going to be flying out to Harlingen, Texas. I probably said that wrong, but is in Texas. And it's basically really close to the Gulf of Mexico and kind of near the Mexico border. So anyways, he arrived in from Houston, going to be flying out to Harlingen. And moving on to the B terminal, we have a ton to go over at the B terminal today. United is doing awesome, and I'm very excited to get into this. But starting right here at this United 787-9 in the new livery, this is arrived in from Frankfurt. Going to be heading back out there. This route's still on the 787-8 and -9. So not too much going on with this route. Hopefully United will bring back their Tokyo route and also their London route pretty soon. But of course that also depends on what happens with COVID. And in the middle of the screen now, a United Airlines Airbus A319 in the new livery. This just arrived in from Reno and is going to be flying out to Omaha today. And in the front of the screen, a United Airlines Airbus A319. This is also in the new livery. This just arrived in from Detroit and is going to be flying out to Nassau, Bahamas. Now this is one of the many routes that United has just brought back. And most of them I would say, and most of the routes that United just brought back are to warm weather destinations. And I actually don't think I've seen this route before to Nassau. And that's just a very nice route. And I'm very glad to see that United has brought this route back. Very interesting route for the A319. But I think that's really nice to see that United has confidence in this route. Also, just in front of that, United Express E175 in the new livery. A very nice new livery lineup here today. But anyways, this arrived in from Panama City in Florida, which is quite a nice route, and is going to be heading out to Hayden, Colorado today. And next, moving on, as you can see right here is my new United Airlines 737 MAX 9 in the old livery. I'm very glad to have this model, and I'm so happy to finally have a MAX in one of my Denver updates. United has also started quite a few more MAX routes, which I'll get into right now. So in addition to the MAX routes that they already have, which at this point is like a ton, they also have started flying the MAXes to San Antonio, Seattle, San Francisco, Cleveland, and Portland, which are very nice routes to see the MAX on. I'm just very happy to see that United is doing so good with their MAXes right now, and that just makes me even more grateful to have my United 737 MAX 9 here. So of course, my United 737 MAX 9 in the old livery just arrived in from Seattle and is going to be flying out to Fort Lauderdale today. And up there, United Airlines 757-200, that just arrived in from Newark and is going to be flying out to Lihue in Hawaii. So I believe that was one of the many other routes, warm weather routes that United started up again not too long ago. So as I said, he arrived in from Newark, going to be making a departure out to Lihue. And finally, for the B terminal, we have two more 737s. So in the front here, we have United Airlines 737-800 in the new livery. This just arrived in from Cozumel and is going to be flying out to Belize City, which are two warm weather routes that United has brought back. Now, these routes I have seen in the last few weeks, but been very spotty, so I don't know if I just missed them a few times or if they stopped them and they started them again. But behind that, a United Airlines 737-800 in the Star Alliance livery. That arrived in from Liberia, Costa Rica, and is going to be flying out to San Jose, Costa Rica. Again, not sure. I have seen these routes a few times in the last few weeks, but I must have missed them or something, or they stopped them and then they started them up again. But as I said, this came in from Liberia earlier and is going to be flying out to San Jose, Costa Rica. And finally, at the C terminal today, again, we have a lot of very exciting things to go over. This update has just had a lot of very cool things going on in it today. But anyways, in the back there, in Alaska Airlines 737-800, that just arrived in from Seattle, going to be flying back out there. I did actually see the Seattle route a few times on the Airbus A320, and once even the A321neo, which was very interesting. I believe that was just a substitution, but that was really cool to see. Moving to the Southwest Airlines 737-800 in the Heart livery, that arrived in from Charleston, South Carolina, and is going to be making a flight out to Atlanta. And in the front, a Southwest Airlines 737-700 in the Colorado 1 livery, that arrived in from Chicago here and is going to be flying out to Orlando. And I did see the Orlando flight on Colorado 1, so I wanted to include that in this update, which is really nice. I do feel like I've been seeing a lot of 1 liveries flying in and out of Denver lately. I saw Nevada 1 today, Colorado 1, of course. I saw Tennessee one not too long ago. Oh, and also Maryland one I forgot to say. So it's been really nice to see all the one liveries going, a lot of different one liveries going through Denver lately. And continuing with Southwest, in the back of Southwest Air and Sun 37-800 and the Canyon Blue livery that arrived in from San Jose del Cabo earlier and just finished its taxi from the A terminal to the C terminal for a flight out to New Orleans. And of course, in front of Southwest Air and Sun 37-700 Louisiana 1 livery that arrived in from Boise and will be making its departure out to Oklahoma City in a few minutes. And finally, for this update, Spirit Airlines Airbus A320neo. This just arrived in from Fort Lauderdale and is going to be flying out to Houston. And both of those routes I have seen on the A320neo, which I'm very happy to see, especially because I can realistically use this on those routes now. So I'm very curious to see if Spirit will keep those routes on the A320neo. But as I said, this is arriving from Fort Lauderdale, going to be making a flight out to Houston. So I'd like to thank those of you who watched till the end of this video. A lot of very exciting things going on at Denver right now. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to click that like button and subscribe to my channel. It really helps me when I get subscribers. And also, if you'd like to, then please leave a comment. But anyways, thank you for watching. Bye.